Hey, what's up, gang? Thank you for tuning in to the Swish Masters Podcast, and of course, thanks to our sponsor, SS96. Use the promo code Swish Masters. That's right, Swish Masters, the name of the podcast, for 15% off today on all merch at ss96.net. Also, be sure to follow Straight Stoner as well as Xzequtive Productions on all socials. See you soon, and thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. We love it.
What's up? Yo, this NBA trade deadline stuff, man. Yo, we got Super Bowl week going on, and this is trumping everything right now. If you're a sports fan, man, but LeBron broke a major record. The NBA has been going crazy this week, man.
Man, I don't know if you've been seeing, I don't know if you've been seeing the Twitter trend, but like the NFL script apparently leaked out.
Yep, exactly.
These script writers have been like working overtime this week. Like
exactly, man. We got so much to cover, y'all.
Okay.
Man, we called it too on our last podcast, man. We called it. It was like NBA trade deadline gonna be crazy.
Yeah, we said it was gonna be crazy, but I didn't expect to be up at 1 a.m. and looking at my phone like, oh, Kevin Durant of all people. 1 a.m. in the morning. Like,
this is crazy, bro. So let's go ahead and start. Let's try to start towards the beginning though, man. Because the first major trade that broke out since we left was Kyrie and Markieff Morris going to the Mavericks, and Brooklyn getting back Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a first-round pick and 2 second-round picks.
yeah.
Man, what's your thoughts on this trade right here? Kyrie actually played in his debut last night. He played pretty well. They won without Luka, by the way.
Yeah.
Against the Clippers.
Yeah, impressive win in his debut.
Very
I think
impressive.
when you first told me about the news, I was like, I wasn't on Twitter. I think I was working or something, and you text me like Kyrie requested a trade. I was like, what? So in the midst of like him getting a trade and then being traded, and now at this point playing his first game for Dallas and dropping 24, I'm just like, this is like that seems like 3 weeks ago, and it was just like last week because so much has happened. But I think for me initially, Kyrie requesting the trade, I know there's a report about why he requested it, I guess, or
we can go into that a little bit too, I guess. There were some reports that came out saying the contract extension that the Nets offer includes some stipulations such as winning the championship, which is something I've never heard of in a professional contract. But at the same time, Kyrie is a player we've never seen before. Particularly some of the things he's done off the court, and his talent on the court is remarkable too. So those stipulations were very concerning, and if you're any player, I'll be very concerned, and you don't feel as appreciated. I think Kyrie put out in this tweet he wants to. I think that's what he said. He left because he wants to go to a place where he can be celebrated, not tolerated. So yeah.
In in his perspective, I can see that. I mean, it's fair to want to be. I wouldn't want to be in an environment where I'm being tolerated because that just makes it harder to do my job at the end of the day because I'm looking around, looking over my shoulder. So I get why in that perspective. But like you said, we haven't seen a player quite like Kyrie when it comes to off the court stuff, obviously, and on the court. He's one of the best. I think he's a Hall of Fame talent, one of the most talented skilled players we've ever seen. But to have that type of stipulation, it's a lot of pressure to be like, all right, if you win a championship, we'll pay you, but if not,
Yeah,
that's a lot of pressure.
and exactly. And KD was hurt at the time too, so who know how long injuries can happen? So and basketball is a team sport. It's not so much individual. If it was, MJ would have won titles by himself, but he didn't. So it's a team sport, and I can't have my contract based on like what the team can do. Like
Absolutely.
that's it's too risky, especially after Kyrie has done a lot to be back in good graces. For the most part, he was staying out of trouble. For the most part, you didn't hear much off the court news like we used to. Like it seemed to be going well. He was balling. Kyrie is like having one of his best seasons this season. Like he's balling out.
Absolutely. He's
Then
starting
to be
off-
offered that contract, it's like a slap in the face, honestly.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Like now that I understand more about it, it just was. I think if I'm a Nets fan, it's just so shocking and disappointing because he's been so great this year, having one of his greatest seasons since coming back from suspension, and the Nets are still playoff contending team even without Kevin Durant up until this point, obviously, but they were doing fine, and now to be where they are.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to talk about that too in a second. But my immediate reaction to the Kyrie buzz is that all the teams that were still interested in Kyrie, despite the off the court issues, different teams questioned about him. They had the Lakers, of course, were interested, and of course the Mavs ended up getting him. I don't remember the other two teams that were interested. I believe maybe the Clippers. I'm not sure, but Joe Tsai is bugging for this though. He said, "You are not going to where you want to go. You're not going to LA. You're not sniffing LA. You're not going to the Clippers. I'm not sending you to the Lakers. You're going to the Mavericks. I don't want you in my conference. You going over there." So he's sent him to the West and playing with Dallas alongside Luka. And one of my main questions I ask myself is the fit. How's this fit going to work? And watching the game yesterday, Kyrie can play off the ball. He can. It's just that Luka, like Kyrie has played with the likes of LeBron James, who is, as we all know, like a prolific passer of the basketball. He's played with exactly. He's played with James Harden, who his playmaking skills are vastly underrated. James Harden is a really, really good playmaker. He's underrated for that. So, but my thing about Luka though, I don't know. We know he has a passing skill set. He can make some beautiful, amazing passes. It's just that he's such. I don't know. It's like, can he? You know what I'm saying? It's like you got two ball dominant players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is one ball dominant player willing to give up the ball in certain situations? Because can Kyrie stay involved off the ball? Right?
Yeah.
He can't be stagnant. He can't just be standing in one spot. Kyrie's skill set is so great that he can cross you without the ball in his hands. Like he can. So I'm just wondering about the fit. If anyone can make it work, it's Jason Kidd. As we all know, legend, point guard legend. He can make it work. So I'm interested to see what Jason Kidd can do to make this fit work, because Man, if it does, they're a contender.
I mean, they have a shot at the title for sure now. I mean, they had a shot before with Luca, with them coming off of West Conference Finals. I think it's just like you said, with them two being very ball dominant players, Luca specifically having like a 39-40% usage rate. That's a lot of
It's a lot, bro.
possessions that he gets. And Kyrie also being, they're both, but the positive is, I guess, with them, even though they're both ball dominant, they're top 10 in the league in ISO scoring. So you can get a bucket from either one of them at any time, just giving them the ball. And I think, like you said, Jason Kidd is the right person that I feel like could make it work. It's just finding a way to manage that, I guess, like with who gets the last shot, who's getting this possession, whose quarters this, whose quarters that, where do they, I think it'll work because Kyrie is playing with other ball dominant guys. Like you said, LeBron plays on the ball. Kevin Durant obviously can play on the ball. James Harden, not so much this year, but previously, yes. So I don't think it won't work. I think it's really about still like the other guys. And when you look at the trade, Dorian Finney-Smith, their best defensive player, that's going to hurt them a little bit. Wing size, and Spencer Dinwiddie being that backup or number 2 option, you still you kind of level out with that offensively. It's just like defensively is where I question Dallas. The offense, I feel like it'll resolve itself after time. And right now, with Luka being hurt, it gives Kyrie time to just kind of like gel with the other guys, and then I'm sure there are going to be plenty of conversations between Luka, Jason Kidd, and Kyrie. So we'll see.
And if it does work out in Kyrie's favor, he'll definitely get that contract. Mark Cuban, if anyone can take the risk, it's Mark Cuban. No, this is Shark Tank, people. He's the person to take the risk. So we'll see if it pays off. Now let's get to the other side of it, though. When the Nets made this trade, we all believe they made this trade with Kevin Durant in mind, because you can still argue that the Nets with Kevin Durant at this point could still be a contender, right? You just said Dorian Finney-Smith, a great defender, spacer, wing player, right? Spencer Dinwiddie, he gives you offense, right?
Yep.
He's no Kyrie, but he can give you some scoring. But in the middle of the night, like we were just talking about, man, a blockbuster trade came out, man. So the Brooklyn Nets traded Kevin Durant and TJ Warren to the Suns, and the Nets get Mikal Bridges, Cameron Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks in the 2028 pick swap. That is a haul. And that's worth it. It's worth it. And like, obviously, to me, who won the trade, of course, the Suns. I mean, obviously, I wish there was some way they could have kept Bridges. Yes. That's the only thing. Like, I wish they could have kept Bridges, but that's the piece that they weren't budging on. So, and shout out to the new owner for the Suns, because apparently Matt Ishbia was really pushing this to get done, and he got it done. He said, "KD's available. Go get me KD."
Yeah, I want to say didn't he just close on the team? And
just did. That was another thing we were going to talk about this week. Yeah, he just got verified as an owner. So, and to make this move, Phoenix is going to be rocking. Charles Barkley is going to be hyped. So, we'll see. You can't really trash talk KD no more. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. But
at this point, it's really insane. Not only did the deal happen, but it happened just so fast. Like, I think we all were under the impression that with Kyrie being traded, all right, Brooklyn is gonna lean on Kevin Durant and make sure they like, all right, this is our guy. This is a once in a lifetime generational talent. Let's build around him. Blah blah blah. They completely went the opposite direction, and like within a few days, I was like, oh, and like last night we got that breaking news at I just can't believe it. But they definitely paid a hefty price to get him. I think that obviously they're going to be really good once they all get healthy. But I just really am, like I said, if I'm a Nets fan, I'm so disappointed. I'm so sad, like as a Nets fan.
Yo, one of my immediate reactions was like, I kind of was fearing this too. Remember I was talking about like they tried this before with Paul Pierce,
Yeah.
KG. I was like, it turned out to be exactly worse than that because these are top, higher caliber. Like, man, so the Nets just netted it up, man. That's all I can say. Y'all had a golden opportunity to at least get a chip. But this talent, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, y'all can make it work. I don't know how Sean Marks still has a job right now. I mean, good job getting the trades done, but you didn't have to trade Kevin Durant.
No.
You didn't have to trade him.
No.
He's under contract.
For 3 more years.
So I wonder what happened. Is Josiah was? I mean, he was very collaborative with Josiah for sure. I'm sure Kevin Durant was respectful, did things the right way. I'm sure he did, but it's not like I'm not sure Kevin Durant would have held out on you or anything like that. Like I don't know. He likes to hoop. He's a hooper, but he could use the injury as an excuse to like, hey, I'm gonna sit out. I mean,
yeah.
but you just never seen KD do that though, so I don't know. But the fact that they pulled out that trade just, man. So now the Nets are like kind of stuck right now because they have a lot of wing players now. We'll catch up with some of the other trades that happened, but it's like they're in limbo, man. It's like you can try to do more to compete, or just do rebuild over again.
Yeah,
but this Nets tenure was a big failure. One playoff series. One. Out of like what, 3-4 years? That's terrible. And then you sniff a championship. But you know, it's just it's disappointing.
The experiment failed tremendously. And
it's disappointing, man.
They are basically back in the same boat because if you remember, prior to Kyrie, KD signing, and eventually James Harden, they had D'Angelo Russell, they had Karis LeVert, they had a bunch of young, talented players that were fun, exciting, but we knew they weren't championship contending. Then you get these big time all-stars, superstar players, you're championship contending, and now you're right back to this mix of random players that are not bad at it by any means, but they're not a championship roster. It's I don't know, history repeated itself. They went big with that Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, KG thing, and then they brought KD and Kyrie, James Harden, Ben Simmons, and now it all fell apart again. This is crazy. But hey, shout out to Phoenix. Shout out to Matt for getting the deal done. And like I said, once they get healthy, that's gonna we didn't even mention DeAndre Ayton. They kept him. Like you said, I would have been Bridges to me is a loss because he's their defensive guy that he's Iron Man, never misses a game, like straight up, but got Kevin Durant. So but it's all about health at this point. So
yeah. And we all agree that this definitely makes the Phoenix Suns the favorite to win in the West. No doubt about it. Like they should be definitely contenders to be in the finals. Like I'm not saying they're just outright favorites, but it's like they're favorites though. Like they're at the top. Their odds should be way at the top now.
They definitely got boosted as far as like championship contention. I personally, I'm not gonna say that they're gonna do it this year because Phoenix, prior to Kevin Durant, was having issues with chemistry to me. they seem like they weren't really into it. They kind of have been like getting back to it. Now that Booker is back, it should be better. And adding Kevin Durant once he gets healthy, Chris Paul's healthy, Devin Booker is healthy, Aiden is good to go. They'll be for sure a monster in the West to watch out for. So we'll see.
Yeah, I hear you on that team dissension, but you know the old saying, winning cures all. And you got Kevin Durant, you're never gonna win some games. So I mean, you still got a great coach in Monty Williams. You got CP3. That's the most exciting part to me. You've never seen Kevin Durant play with like a point guard like CP3. It's all relying on CP3. CP3 gotta be elite. If I'm the Suns, I would try to acquire another guard just in case there's concerns. Like someone that can keep the pace and keep pushing the play, get the ball to where it needs to go. So that's another move that I would make if I'm the Suns, maybe in the buyout market. So see what that is. But they're definitely contenders. That this pushes the needle. I'm excited to watch the Suns. I mean, dude, Devin Booker and Kevin Durant?
Definitely.
Ooh. Man.
Buckets all day.
No excuses either for KD. Kyrie kind of is a scapegoat for the next situation. Everything that happened, so that's an excuse, really. So no excuses here. I don't care how tough the West is. I don't care how many superstars in the West now compared to the East. The West is stacked.
It's tough.
It's stacked. In the East, all we got now, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Giannis, Jimmy.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown's hurt, but
I saw that.
Yeah, so that's it. Don't even let me start naming names in the West. Man.
The West 1 through 9 is possible. It's gonna be a competitive second half, post All-Star rest of the season for sure. It's gonna be crazy.
It's amazing. It's gonna be crazy. All right, let's talk about another major move that happened. This kind of got overshadowed by the KD move, right? So we gotta all give Rob Pelinka like an apology. Because the fact, I don't know how he pulled this off. A 3-team trade between the Lakers, the Timberwolves, and the Jazz. So this is a lot. So listen here. So Minnesota got Mike Conley and they killed Alexander Walker. They got 3 second-round picks in this deal. Utah got Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano Anderson, and Damian Jones, which are all from the Lakers, and a 27th first-round pick. Lakers got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Vanderbilt. I can't believe Rob Pelinka actually found players to fit what they needed. And this one move. You got shooting. You got size. We were just talking about how they needed more size too. They got that. You got to talk about how they traded away Thomas Bryant too. Like that's an issue. Like I thought they would have kept him, but it's apparently he requested a trade, so we got to get into that. So. But Vanderbilt is a good forward. Malik Beasley shooting. This is crazy. And now let's get to the other side too. Pat Beverly thought him and D'Lo would have a reunion but the reunion only lasted like 10 seconds.
Oh.
I was like, yo, when he tweeted that, I was like, dude, you probably traded yourself. I would have waited. But lo and behold, gone, because Patrick Beverly was not as people getting on Russell Westbrook, but Patrick Beverly was not getting it.
He wasn't he didn't have the season he had last year. We'll put it that way for sure. I'm surprised, and honestly, I guess it's good for the Lakers that they made these moves finally that everybody seems to have been waiting on for a long time. Westbrook has been on the chopping block for pretty much his entire tenure with the Lakers. And shout out to him. I think he still was himself, still was good. He just had a hard time adjusting with this team, and they didn't really do. To me, they didn't do him justice to make it work the best they could. I definitely think that Russell Westbrook is a starting point guard still. So I think Utah is going to be interesting for him.
Yeah, it's been interesting to hear this narrative switch over the past couple hours or so. At one point, people were praising Westbrook, 6th man of the year candidate. I swear I've been hearing that all over the place. Yep. Now, reports coming out about the toxic culture or whatever.
Him had a confrontation.
Apparently that was true. He was staggering out the court. I saw that. He didn't not want to come out. I don't know. It's weird. And he had a good game. His last game as a Laker was good. He nearly brought them back. And he's done that several occasions. It's just the roster is not efficient enough. So, but now the roster is at a great point. We can talk about Russell Westbrook a little bit. The belief is that he'll be bought out by the Utah Jazz. And yeah, the Clippers, who are interested in him, and your team, Miami. And Russ is interested in both those teams as well. So, the Bulls as well. The Bulls are another candidate. So, but Russ is interested in Miami and the Clippers, based on recent reports. So, hey, I mean, Russ could fit the mentality that y'all need. I don't think, were y'all able to trade Kyle Lowry by the deadline? So y'all stuck with him. That sucks. So that doesn't really make the move. So I'm saying the reason I think it could most likely be the Clippers, because the Clippers actually made moves. Like Reggie Jackson is gone.
Mm-hmm.
John Wall. Yo, John Wall, man. All right. We just did a reaction about John Wall trashing the Rockets. I'm going back to the team that you trash, man. Like that's gotta be a blow to like the pride, the ego, man. Like I just talk trash about y'all, and y'all traded for me.
I would feel so awkward. That's got to be like the most.
Yo, John Wall probably don't even care.
He probably isn't. He probably isn't even going to take a flight to Houston at all. He's. I don't see that going over well. That's hilarious. Like literally, I think that may have been one of our last videos. And
it was.
I'm on Sham's Twitter. I see John Wall heading to Houston. I'm like, what? I literally just saw the video again. It's so crazy, bro.
That's crazy. But the thing is, again, though, the Clippers are actually making moves to, they need a guard.
Yeah.
So, Russ can fill that need for sure.
They moved Reggie Jackson and John, so it's
exactly. And PG is apparently he's trying to call for Russ to get there. So as we all know, PG had one of his best seasons. Period. Playing with Russell Westbrook. Like I remember those days. Like PG was balling. Russ was balling. Like MVP. Like Paul George was an MVP candidate. Playing with Russell Westbrook, which counters a story narrative that I don't believe is true. So saying that Russ can't play with other people. It's all about fit and roster. Like the Lakers roster is not a good fit. It's hard to win with that, even if you have LeBron James. So, but the Lakers roster got drastically better. They clearly won the trade. Utah got more picks. And the reason why Utah was in the position to do that is because they just fleeced the Timberwolves on the other deal for Rudy Gobert. Like, they got so many picks anyway. So it's like, it doesn't matter. We'll take one. And we'll be fine. So, and he'll get the cash off the books. Danny Ainge is putting the Jazz in a good position, and the Jazz are still in a competitive spot to make the playoffs. So,
yeah. Pretty insane.
Now, exactly. We'll just have to see if the Lakers can actually make a run and get in the playoffs. It all depends on health.
Definitely.
AD has to ball out.
Yeah. If he can be the player he was earlier in the season prior to injury, LeBron, obviously the all-time greatest scorer, doing his thing. Beasley's going to add some shooting. They got Mo Bamba to replace Thomas Bryant for that Patrick Beverly trade. So they still have some size and depth.
I like that move.
Honestly, and Pat Bev wasn't playing his best basketball in LA.
No. Russ wasn't either. So,
yeah. I think
they made the right moves.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, shout out to Rob Pelinka. I'm sorry, sir.
We have to see how it goes, but
we'll see. But I like it. Yeah, I like it. It makes it better. It's just so tough in the West now. It's hard. Did you see the tweet CJ McCollum put up? It was like, it's all because of Java ran saying I'm good in the West. Ever since.
The West is just 10 times tougher, like overnight.
Matter of hours, man. It's crazy.
I can't believe it. Just this was one of the more entertaining trade deadlines we've had in a couple of seasons. So.
It really is. There's another team that made some pretty good moves as well. I want to focus on the Blazers real quick because this can kind of get lost with everything that happened yesterday. So Cam Reddish is now on the Portland Trailblazers, right? And the Knicks got Josh Hart. To me, the winners in this trade are Portland for sure because they got a lot of protected first round pick in the trade. However, that pick could turn into like 4 second round picks if it's not in the lottery. So if it gets to the lottery and the Knicks get the pick, they'll send 4 second round picks over. So I feel like the Blazers won that trade because Cam Reddish is a valuable piece to have as a forward spot. It was hard for him to get minutes with the Knicks. They have an abundance of forwards there. So and then you did Josh Hart, who's a guard. He can play the wing spot too, but it's more of a guard. So I just like that prospect with the Blazers. The Blazers made another move too, I think, to help bolster the roster. They also got let's see real quick. Matisse Thybulle. Some good defense. Great defense. They did that in a 3-team trade. The Sixers got Jalen McDaniels, and the Hornets got I hope I pronounce his name. But dude.
Better than me, bro.
But dude, I like that for the Blazers, man. They clearly made moves to fill in the needs on the roster. Does it really boost it? Not very much after the trades we had yesterday. Not too much. But I like those moves despite the recent trades though. Those are positive moves. You just need another good bona fide superstar talent. At least one more.
Yeah. I like the like you said, the Cam Reddish move is kind of underrated to me because he, like you said, wasn't getting a lot of time in New York with the Knicks. But when you look at his game, his skill, his size, Josh Hart obviously can do a lot of things for you as far as being that glue guy, kind of role playing, playing good D on the wing, getting the rebounds, pushing in transition. But Cam adds size, he adds some length on defense, and he can score very well. He can shoot, and that's gonna add to their playoff depth if they try to make a run, giving a little bit of a lesser load to Dame, to Anthony Simons, all those guys. So good move. And they also got rid of Gary Payton II.
Yeah. Go back to the Warriors.
Back to the Warriors. So I think that was some picks. So they're in good shape, you know. But like you said, it's just so much talent in the West now. That's going to be hard for them regardless, even though they did make some improvements.
Yeah, they did. It's going to be tough. Another significant move is Jay Crowder finally gets to the Bucks. We've been hearing that news for a while now. A lot of folks are interested in Jay Crowder. Until Jay Crowder get traded to the Nets first. And then finally found his home with the Bucks. Jay Crowder tweeted, like it was a celebratory type tweet, like, I'm glad to be gone, basically. I'm paraphrasing here. Y'all can look it up. Basically, the man's happy that drama with the Suns is over. I don't know what caused it, though. Because I thought Jay Crowder is clearly a valuable piece. I'm not sure what kind of tarnished their relationship with the Suns. I don't know what happened there.
I mean, getting blown out by 42 in the playoffs, they'll put a pretty bad damper on my mood as a player. So whatever the aftermath was, I'm sure stemmed from.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but I like that move with the Bucks. That feels a need for them as well. So
it was going to be tough. It was going to play important minutes. So good move.
Yeah, that pushes the needle for the Bucks a little bit. They're still at the top of the East. And the Pacers got George Hill, Serge Ibaka in that trade as well. So the Pacers are still kind of in the rebuild mode, but they can still make a push for the playoffs. So
yeah, they have a chance too. I know they either waived or bought out Ibaka, so he can sign anywhere.
Oh, that's good. So they bought him out. That's good. I didn't know that.
I think that with their young all-star, Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner just signed recently for a contract extension. They have a good. I can see them building. Buddy Hield. I can see them making some moves and making the playoffs, but we'll see where it goes.
We'll see. There's a couple like low-key moves I want to ask you about. One, can you make this make sense to me? Why did the Nuggets trade Bones Highland? That's the one I really didn't get. Why would you trade him for 2 second-round picks, by the way? I don't get that one.
So the Clippers, you in the same conference.
Exactly. You know how much that helps the Clippers? I don't get that one, man. I can't make sense of that one.
I thought that was a bad idea because they got draft picks and they're like, I feel like the Nuggets have a very good chance to be in the NBA championship, and Bones Highland to me is part of that success because he's not a starting guard for them, but he plays some significant minutes and he can score. Like he's basically a Swiss Army knife 6-man type player off the bench who can give you anywhere from 10 to 20 off the bench any given night. To give that up for picks, it's like, why you have the system right now, you have the pieces right now. Why not keep that or at least get somebody else in return who can contribute right now? Top team in the West. I can't make sense of that one. I don't get it. The only thing I can think of is if they would have made another move to get somebody else, but
okay,
they didn't really get anything significant to me.
Okay, I see what's going on. So there's been some frustration between him and the team. So one, he was falling out of the rotation for like about the past 2 weeks. And Highland didn't really help the situation when he walked off the bench in the game against the OKC about 2 weeks ago. So However, some of his teammates asked for him not to be traded, like Michael Porter Jr. So, anyway, that's just the result of it. I was like, this got to be something else to cause that to happen, because that makes no sense. So, knowing the frustration and you fall out the rotation, that's fine. But you know what? I'm still probably stupid, because why would you trade it to the same conference though? You at least trade it to a different conference.
No, you're trading it to one of your direct competitors who's also hunting for a championship.
Exactly. At least trade to the East or something. Like, I don't know. I still don't say that's a bad move.
Good for the Clippers though.
And good for Bones. Like, he can definitely help the Clippers.
I know. Come in and open up, fill that gap as far as like their bench scoring load.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like how the Hawks made some interesting moves. They got Bruno Fernando again. They got him back. They got Garrison Matthews in the trade they did with the Rockets. But this is the main thing I really like. We got to talk about this trade too in a second. But there's a 3-team trade that was done today. The Hawks got Steve Bay. Detroit got James Wiseman. Golden State got Kevin Knox and 5 second-round picks. We can probably break this trade down as to like what we like about it, what we don't like. The thing that's not the biggest surprise is that James Wiseman got traded. I mean, we were talking about him on the podcast for a minute. You know, did a stint down in the G League. No one's ever heard of a lottery pick going down to the G League. You know, he just did not perform to his potential. Like, but I do like the potential of him playing alongside other young talent. You know, especially Cade Cunningham. So I'm looking forward to see. Maybe you can get a resurgence. You know, sometimes you just need a restart. Sometimes you need a fresh start over.
Yeah.
See something new. So we'll see. What are your thoughts on the trade between those 3 teams?
The James Wiseman move to Detroit, like you said, not exactly surprising that he was traded. It's just, to me, Detroit as a location, it doesn't like, to me, maybe I'm just looking at it from a basketball perspective. He's going to be, I guess, backup center to Marvin Bagley Jr., who's already there, who kind of is in the same boat as him. So it's like, do they really need? And plus, they're also kind of tanking, so they're going for Wembanyama. So why add another front court player? Wiseman obviously had his struggles being a young player, basically 1 year in college, sort of, and he had injury issues. It's kind of disappointing because I feel like with Golden State, he had the perfect opportunity to develop under a great system. Just didn't work out. But like you said, maybe it's, you know, fits aren't always, things aren't always what they seem, and the fit is different. The Sadiq Bey trade is like really a big move because he was a player. He's a player that's very capable of being like a fringe all-star type player, 20-point per game type scorer. So
exactly,
Golden State was getting them, but then they shifted and got Kevin Knox, and he went to Atlanta, which is interesting. So,
yeah, at first I thought Sadiq Bey went to the Warriors. I was about to say, whoa, okay, I like that more too. But they just, you know, I guess they're like, we good. I mean, to be honest, it would be kind of hard for them to find a rotation because they already got like players in those spots. You know, you still got dude's slipping on mine right now, but like, of course, you got Wiggins, Draymond's gonna be playing. What's the dude's name? Jonathan Kuminga. There we go. Kuminga. So like, between those 3 players, that front court rotation, it's gonna be hard for them to find a spot there. So, but they got 4 second-round picks out of that, so that's a lot for the Warriors. Not 4 or 5 second-round picks. And Kevin Knox, Kevin Knox not gonna see any playing time, so it's like,
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I ain't no disrespect, but he's not going to see any playing time with that roster. Unless like injuries or something. I don't know. Or a blowout. You know.
He might get a few minutes, but I don't see him making a huge impact.
He's right.
So, you know, this to Kevin Knox, but yeah, I wouldn't see a big role right now.
He's another one of those players that kind of like, we gotta talk about this one day, like go through like some of the hype draft picks that kind of just like settle down, you know? Like we just talked about Marvin Bagley. Kevin Knox was another one. So, yeah. But love the move for the Hawks, though.
Saddiq Bey adds another guy who can get you some baskets. Also, 3-and-D type player. You know, he's got size and adds a little bit of less of a load, I guess, on Trae Young and Murray and all those guys. So, not a bad move.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Another move that was kind of competitive. We'll talk about these last two. We'll be done. The Grizzlies actually made a move along with the Clippers and the Rockets. So the Rockets got Danny Green. The Clippers got Eric Gordon. 3 second-round picks. The pick swap. And Memphis got Luke Kennard. All these teams are definitely in the West. Some of them are more competitive than others for sure. But for Memphis, you added shooting in Luke Kennard. You needed that. At the same time, the Clippers do get a shooter in Eric Gordon, a proven veteran in the league, on a good value deal. Like, you get a lot of picks out of that. Honestly, Eric Gordon has a big contract. So that's probably the picks coming in because he has not the best contract in the world. I don't remember the exact number right now, but it's a big number. And he got that back when he was playing like James Harden and Chris Paul. So I like the move for the Clippers. I like the move for the Grizzlies. It doesn't really move the needle too much for me for the Grizzlies. But for the Clippers, that team just has so much depth on it. Along with the addition of Bones Highland, Aaron Gordon, you don't know who they'll fill in that point guard spot in the buyout market. I'm like, man, it's gonna be tough.
With them adding Eric Gordon, to me, it makes it more likely that they're gonna try to buy it once Westbrook gets bought out. He's heading to the Clippers, which would be hilarious to see because he's gonna have Kawhi and Paul. Paul's played with him, played great. Kawhi can play probably with anybody. I don't think he'll have a lot of issues. Bones Highland can shoot. Eric Gordon, play with him, can shoot. Then the other Clippers, it's and if they go against the Lakers, beat up.
Yo, we didn't talk about this either, man. What the Mavs go against the Suns too?
Everybody's waiting for that game. I saw it on Twitter. Like they changed that. You remember last year the beef between Booker and Luka?
Oh yeah.
They already put the graphic up of Kyrie's face over Luka, the KD over. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, okay. I love the NBA.
The script writers were on all the Starbucks they had overtime, just writing away for this season.
Yeah, it's so good. So yeah, we both like the moves. It all depends on how they finalize the rosters, in this buyout market. And finally, I'd like to talk about this one just because the Pelicans. The Pelicans got Josh Richardson, and the Spurs got Devontae Graham.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this move for the Pelicans. They get a proven defender in Josh Richardson. He can shoot as well a little bit. And the West is just so tough. And on the overall landscape post the trade deadline, I'm not sure that they're like the top contenders. anymore. Definitely not anymore. I would say for me, it'll be the Suns. The Nuggets are still up there. The Warriors. That's about it, man. This is tough. I mean, they got some of these different stacked teams. I don't trust Dallas yet. I gotta see more.
No, I'm just saying with Steph he's got a.
He did get hurt again though. Yeah, that's true.
But Clay's been great.
He has, but at the same time, I thought the Warriors would have fallen out, and they didn't the last time he was hurt. So, all right, y'all showed me. So I'm gonna trust that y'all still be there.
That's a good point.
I did call him out. I was like, "There's no way y'all gonna still be in the playoff hunt." I'm like, "Oh, nah." So I'm expecting him to still be there. Shout out to Steve Kerr. So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good point.
But it doesn't really push the needle too much for the Pelicans, man. It's tough. It's rough out here if you're a basketball player in the West and you really want to win a championship. It's tough, man.
It's wide open right now. With New Orleans, I like the addition with Josh Richardson. I like that move because Devontae Graham honestly wasn't giving you much in his minutes. He maybe some shooting, but I'll say that they have still a pretty deep team when you look at Bi, who's back, who's been playing good, CJ, Alvarado, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, like those guys, they have a lot of length. They have youth. Zion, once he gets back from injury, they're gonna be, and they were like before Zion's injury, they were second, third in the West. Adding Josh Richardson, young veteran player who can still like play make, who can obviously defend, shoot a little bit. It's gonna take them a long way, I feel like. It's just staying healthy and catching up with now a new and improved stacked Western Conference. It's that I ain't gonna lie, the Western Conference as a conference just like destroyed the trade deadline. Like there's nothing that happened in the East besides Jay Crowder, Sadiq Bey.
Jay Crowder and y'all traded Dwayne Dedman finally. We didn't talk about that. But, y'all traded your boy. Hey, he's about to get bought out too, so he's about to be a free agent too. So we'll see where he goes.
I'm eyeing a few for Miami as far as this buyout market that I think we should make the effort to do to make some room for, but we'll see.
I mean, y'all definitely gotta make some more moves to. It's y'all golden opportunity right now. How weak the East is compared to the West. Like,
yeah.
Are y'all? Do you want them to get Westbrook?
I wouldn't be mad at that. I personally like Russell Westbrook. My thing with our roster right now, our shooters have been out of rotation a lot. Duncan Robinson has had injuries. We've had a lot of injuries. So the only thing is, like, if we get them back and we bring Westbrook in, I'll be okay with that. It's just like, as I look at the team right now,
yeah,
it could work, but it's also, I'll put it this way. It's an improvement over our current point guard, and there's no slight to him.
Yeah.
If it happens, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I was watching the game when LeBron. We got to talk about that next too. Got the record. Russ was still showing flashes, man. Like he's so fast still. He is still fast. He's still athletic. He can really push the pace. He was knocking down threes too. Dude made like 4 threes that night, I think.
He improved his jump shot from last year, and I feel like that was obviously a big talking point all year.
Yeah.
He put in effort. He honestly, I'm really proud of like his time. Like I said, I never thought that he was falling off. I feel like it was always about the fit. I feel like it was always everyone else micro analyzing and putting him under this microscope.
For sure. I mean, this dude took a Wizards team to the playoffs, man. Like, and
not only that,
he
averaged a triple-double doing it.
Exactly. Like he it's hard for me to believe that he's just washed. I don't think he's just washed. He just needs fit, just like most players do in all sports. It depends on fit. And who else you got around you, man? So, and we already know how it is, the narrative of playing with LeBron James, man. LeBron James' status is so iconic that fans will find anything else to blame or to scapegoat rather than someone they really idolize as a person. Yeah. So that goes across multiple fan bases. So that's where the narrative comes, where it's hard to play with LeBron James. So I'm interested to see how D-Lo will play with LeBron James returning to LA, where he was once traded from. So
I know a lot of returning guys in this year's trade deadline. It was so funny.
It was. It's very funny, but man, the NBA does not disappoint with the trade deadline, and so entertaining. So entertaining, man.
Fun 12 hours.
Yeah. Let's transition again to LeBron though. Absolutely. What was your reaction to like LeBron getting the record?
Just unbelievable to see the record being broken, and to see like him as a force in the league, as in 20 years, the career he's had is if not, I think Charles Barkley said this, is one of the greatest, if the greatest sports story ever told. To be coming in from high school to be the number one pick and to be where he is now is incredible. Like, I was watching the game, and honestly, it was a West Coast game, so it was on late, and I had work, so I didn't catch the second half. I fell asleep, so I didn't even get to see the live shot. So I was like, damn. But I caught like the first half of it, and I was like, this dude just is unstoppable. I think this was another point that was going around, like leading up to the game where he broke the record. I think it was ESPN or whoever, like asking, is LeBron one of the all-time greatest scorers? And
I heard that too, man. Yeah.
Is he one of the all-time greatest scorer? He's the dude at the top. How's he not? And honestly, I get why I get why some people say that, but you have to shut that narrative down.
Yo, we can't allow a moment for us to appreciate the dude. Like, they're already making narratives and like, oh, who got a chance to break it, you know, and like, oh, like, you know, it's just like, y'all just appreciate the greatness y'all see. We never thought this record was gonna be broken. Only chance before this was 2K, and that's it. Like, that's it. And then LeBron is still playing. That record could very well be at least like 40,000 some points, at least.
Absolutely. The fact that he is, we're in February, like we hadn't got to the playoffs, but LeBron, 4th in assists all time. He's in like top 10 or top 5 in like 10 categories.
Exactly.
And he doesn't even look like he's slowing down just yet. The only thing, he's maybe slightly less quick as he used to be, but the dude's averaging almost 30 a game, career average, one of the top ever, and all-time leading scorer. He is the greatest scorer of all time, even if you don't look at his game that way. He's averaged 25 or more for all his life. All his life. Not even like half the time. All his life, he's averaged that much. And he's got the record. He is the greatest all-time scorer. Hands down.
I don't see how people can say that he's not, at least not one of the greatest scorers of all time. I feel like where this comes into play is when people want to bring up the GOAT debate. And this happened a lot in the past couple hours as well. Like, oh, who's the GOAT now? Like, oh, I told you LeBron was the GOAT. No, MJ had a higher score than average. But, you know, MJ played less years. But, you know, it's like, it's all about that dynamic and that argument. Obviously, LeBron is one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen. Kareem as well. Like, Michael Jordan as well. Like, your opinions will vary based on what your preference and style is.
Absolutely.
But I have to give credit to LeBron for getting this record because he's literally played through about 3 eras of basketball. Literally. Basketball has changed about 3 times since he was in the league. He started in the old school league with Kobe and Shaq.
Absolutely, yeah.
He played against those people, man. Like Kobe and I'm talking about prime Kobe.
Yeah.
That's the one thing we never got though, you know. Never got that showdown, man. That sucks. But he played against those players, man. He played through the era of like his 3-point shooting got greater and greater. And it changed all together with Steph Curry. He's played through the rule changes in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to have that mental fortitude, that's give him credit, man. It takes mental toughness to keep playing a sport like that, man. To go through the daily grind like that for 20 years?
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta give LeBron his props. Like, there's no reason why he shouldn't be on anyone's. He should be on everyone's mind. Sure.
He's one of the top players of all time, if at the least. And
yeah, at least top 5. I was about to say at least top 2, top 3. Like for sure. Like it's hard to not make an argument at this point.
Yeah.
Or anybody.
LeBron, on top of being one of the greatest basketball players, just think about his, like you said, his mental aspect of everything that he does. He's one of the most dedicated human beings you can think of. Like, to be 38, almost 40 years old, 38,000 points, leading his team at this age, and still, even if you don't call him the best player in the league right now, he is still like considered. He's leading the All-Star team. He's still that good this late, 20 years in, and he's still going. That takes a lot of time, dedication, mental discipline, like just goodness. And I feel like we just think about it, like Kareem said it, like he passed the record in 1984. 1984, this record was set. So 38 years ago, almost 40 years ago, and he that's, you know how great that is. We just saw like generationally something that's probably never going to be, if it ever is broken, it's going to take 50 years. So
it's gonna be a while. It especially depends on when he sets it, on where he sets it, because it's hard to believe another player would play as long as LeBron has so far. That's the only thing. Maybe one day we'll get another generation of talent who just blows us out the water. Like maybe one day, maybe. But until then, I don't see anyone breaking this record for a while. It's gonna be tough. But yeah, man. Again, imagine all the tough players LeBron played through. You know, he's played through so many. We're talking about eras just now, right? He's played like against like a T-Mac, I already mentioned Kobe, Tim, the Heightened Spurs heyday, man, Tim, and Tony Parker, man, yeah, man. He's played through so many like superstar teams, the Celtics with Paul Pierce and them. Like, yo, he has some to play through all those different like eras and talent. You know what I'm saying? If even now today, been like more the international talent coming in with Joel Embiid and Giannis and Luka, still dominating with the best of them. It's hard to make a case that he deserves to be in the GOAT conversation. I don't know if we're gonna touch that tonight, but like on where he ranks, I'm not ready for that. I don't know if we're ready for that tonight, but like you just gotta give him his props and appreciate him, man. Like give LeBron his flowers.
Definitely, man. I'm just, it's awesome to see as a fan that type of moment. Everyone, and it's so, what's so crazy to me is that They lost the game.
We didn't get to that
Just
until
lost the game.
Yo, in the back of my head, I'm like,
Shane was
watch
going in.
OKC. Watch OKC ruin his night. Like, they still didn't ruin the night. Nobody talked about how OKC won. Everybody was just talking about LeBron. And
I literally
rightfully
watched,
so.
and it literally was just Lakers and LeBron. That was it. It didn't matter. Nothing else mattered.
Nobody cared about OKC.
How impactful this was. Like, literally, they lost the game at home by 3 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander doing his thing, dropped 30. LeBron passing this crazy record. Like, it didn't even seem like they lost. Literally, I just was like, I had to check my phone because, like I said, I fell asleep by accident. But I'm looking like, did they win? Because I'm like, they got to win the game.
The whole time, bro, I was like, watch them lose this game.
They lost
They
the
had
game.
one final push where Russell Westbrook leading the charge towards the end of the game. LeBron was out there to the ankle with something going on his ankle. Hopefully he's fine. AD was already not playing dominant like he should have been, so I didn't really have a chance. But yeah, shout out to OKC. They stood up to the pressure because that's a lot. All the stars in the building that night. OKC showed up. I'm sure they impressed a lot of people that were actually watching the game. Like that, because you don't get a chance to see the Thunder on national TV like that all the time. So Shai, he showed why he's an all-star. This young Thunder team got grit. They got talent offensively. We will get nothing but better on defense once you get Chet back. That's the only thing. They got to improve the defense, but it'll improve once Chet is back. Because dude was averaging like about 3 blocks a game in some leagues, something like that. So, yeah, shout out to OKC.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Shout out to the Thunder. Shout out to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's turning into one of my favorite players to watch.
Oh, yeah, man. Imagine if Clippers still had him. Over. They would have got PG, though. But,
oh, dang. Yeah. They would. But, yeah, shout out to the Thunder. But, of course, shout out to LeBron, man. That's
LeBron, man. That's okay. We just want to give you flowers. We're not going to talk about nothing, no stats, nothing like that. But, like, he appreciate what he did, man.
Greatest scorer of all time.
Exactly. Like, I feel like we can't really adequately have that debate until his career is over. Like, his career's still going on.
That's true.
That's why I have any type of discussion like that. So, let's get to our final thing we're gonna do. That's of course All-Star Weekend. This weekend. As we normally do every year. Zay, I got the roster pull here up now for the All-Star game.
Oh, yeah.
First, this graphic is from TNT, NBA. So, these players that have stars by their names are players that are starters. All-Star.
Yeah.
Other players are reserves. We don't know yet the reserves that will take place of some injured players, such as Jaylen Brown, who will be out. I'm not sure they made an announcement yet. But whoever picks Jaylen Brown, whatever player they replace him, you know, for us, that's a team. They'll be on our team whoever picks him. So, of course, the winners of the captains are Giannis and LeBron. And again, they'll be picking live on TV in front of millions of people. So we're just gonna simulate that. We're gonna start with the stars, man. So I believe who got the most votes would be LeBron. So who's LeBron in this next one?
No, you LeBron. You West Coast.
Okay, I'm LeBron. Oh, because the colors. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. I'll be LeBron. If I'm LeBron first, bro, I would go for I gotta choose like oof. I'll go Steph Curry, but he gonna be hurt too. So I wonder who they replace with him. You know,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's tough
we're
to
taking
do
this.
because who they gonna replace these players with?
So we're gonna take it as is, or
we'll take it as is though. For
take it as
now, yeah. We'll take it as is because I don't know who they're gonna replace these players with. All right,
taking Steph.
I'm taking Steph.
You know I gotta get KD.
Of course. All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna get so it's a lot of petty stuff in here, man. Let me get Jason Taylor.
Okay. I see what you're doing. I gotta get. You got Tatum? I'm gonna get. Dang, that's tough. See, it gets tricky like right here. I'm gonna go with Jokic.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna take him off the board. I'm going big with Giannis.
Okay,
KD.
that's true. That's true. I see. Let me get I'm LeBron. Let me get Luka.
That's yeah. That was tough.
I'm LeBron. I'm gonna get Luka.
Okay, that's fair. You getting Luka? I'm taking D Mitchell off the board.
All right.
Shooting.
This
You
makes
ready?
me real petty right here. I'm gonna take Zion as LeBron James. I'll take Zion.
Wow. Oh, I thought LeBron would have took Kyrie.
No, bro. Let me tell you why I'm in the mindset of LeBron right now. You chose not to. I don't know, man. It's like, yo, you remember Mark Phillips? Mark Phillips did a video of Kyrie and LeBron.
Yeah.
Yo, it's like, hey, Kyrie put it. I mean, not Kyrie, but LeBron put a tweet out saying like, "I guess it's me." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if Kyrie, I was like, whatever, bro. Kyrie, you last, bro.
Oh, so you going full pettiness?
I'm petty, bro.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I see that.
All right.
Oh man. So
That's
Kyrie is last.
Yeah, it's your team, man. That makes sense. You could use another guard. I mean, you got. I don't know, man. I feel like my lineup's pretty good.
So my lineup is Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell, KD, Giannis, and dang, I can't see Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic too. Yep.
Oh, I'm
I
good.
got LeBron stuff, Luka, JT,
Dang,
Jason
okay.
Tatum, and Zion Wilson. Man, that's a good squad.
Yeah.
All right, so most of the time, how it works is like you pick first for the reserves. So
I'm picking first for
I'm probably write this down. This is a lot of reserves. So I'm gonna write this down for my reserves. Go ahead.
For reserves. Let me see. I'm gonna take I gotta take this guy off the roster. I mean, me personally, you know, I'm gonna pick Bam at
Of
some
course,
point.
of course.
But if I had to, like, I'm being strategic, so I'm gonna go. Well, who I want. These reserves are tough too. I guess I'm gonna go with Embiid.
I was about to say, dude, if you don't take Embiid off the board first, I'm gonna go long.
I just think like, yeah, that's fair. I'm getting Embiid.
that dude, because he deserves to be a starter, technically.
He's he barely missed it.
I know, it sucks. Let me get Dame Dollar.
That was my next one. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. That's fair. Give me 12. Give me John Morant.
That's good.
Give me athletic guard. We throwing oops all the game.
All right, I need another big for my roster because I don't really have a true center like that. You get Jaren Jackson.
Okay. Go ahead and get the best center in the league, in my opinion. Bam Adebayo, all around.
Of course, I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing. I don't know how Jalen Brown's gonna turn out though, so I guess for our purposes, I'm getting Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Yeah, for our purposes here, but yeah, of course they're replacing somebody.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's gonna be a few replacements, but it's all good.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a few. Yeah.
So if you take a JB off the board, I'm gonna take Paul George.
That's good. That's good. All right. I'm gonna get another deal. I'm gonna get Laurie Marketing.
I was on Laurie too.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna double down on the scoring and get your boy Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Dang, I was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool.
I'll make a trade like LeBron did that year.
You could trade somebody. That's true. At this point, I'll get the Monty Wilson.
This is where it's gonna get embarrassing.
Well, yeah, this is the reason why we doing this. Like, who's gonna be the
Oh man! All right. So I'm gonna take. I need some size. I done got a couple guards. Who's left on here that I can take? Give me Sabonis, man.
That's good pick.
Good passer.
Yeah. Let me get.
This will be interesting.
I'm gonna get some defense. I'm gonna get Drew.
Ah. Good pick. Good pick. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and give me Tyrese Halliburton, man. I like him. Uh-oh.
Dang, so that means yeah.
I like this guy too, but
I mean, like, I like him too, but I mean, based on how we played it out, it's gonna be between him with Tyrese. Probably.
Yeah.
Julius Randle.
that's Julius Randle, though.
I mean, honestly,
Gordon.
I mean, if Rudy Gobert was on this list, it would have been him.
Oh.
But, you know,
If I would have had Gobert, I would have made a trade with you instantly.
you really don't have to go through that embarrassment though this year. So. Yeah, that's what we got. Y'all let us know we got the better roster. For my reserves, I got Dame Dollar, I got Jaren Jackson Jr., Jaylen Brown, Laurie Marketing, DeMar DeRozan, Drew Holiday, Julius Randle. I still think my squad is
Not bad. I got Bam, I got Joel Embiid, Paul George, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Tyrese Halliburton, Ja Morant, Monty Sabonis. We got athletic, we got big, we got some shooting.
Yeah, that's a good range. It's pretty good.
And just straight up scoring on here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Let us know who got the better squad. Yeah, this has been a great episode of the Swish Masters Podcast, man. It's been really good. So this time next week, we'll probably be reacting to the dunk contest at this point. We'll be reacting to the All-Star game at this point, and reacting to how some of these new teams will look. You know, they get a couple days off, but I think they play again. They like that Wednesday, Thursday. So let's see. I'm excited to see how some of these new teams will look. Where Russell Westbrook land, right? Where are some of these brothers? How does the buyout market look? Which teams will make moves to improve their rosters? So we'll be discussing all that and more next time. Dragon Balls. So appreciate y'all. This is QtheGuru. Signing off.
Yeah, thank y'all so much. Be sure to like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Swish Masters Podcast, and hit that bell for the notifications. This is Zeta Executive producing signing out. Peace.